You've probably heard this saying before, haven't you? You can't pour from an empty cup. And as a man, if you aren't useful, people don't really want to keep you around. It seems to me that you are so tired because you are always giving. You are exhausted because you are always donating your energy, time, and love to everybody else around you, and you never leave anything for yourself. And you're probably going to try and argue with the fact that you are important at work. You need to support your family. Is that these people need me? And yes, I'll give that to you. They probably do. And you probably are useful. You probably are needed. I would like to congratulate you for getting yourself to that position in your life. But just like we've said before, if you aren't useful, people will more than likely want to get rid of you. So the more you exhaust yourself and the less you look after yourself, eventually you're not going to have much more to give. And when you have nothing to give, well then, nobody's going to be willing to give you anything in return. Because the sad reality is that as men, we have to earn our position, do we not? The majority of the time, we do not have unconditional settings. We have to be useful, we have to provide, we have to give value. If we don't, then in those areas, we're more than likely not very welcome. I know you might say that, oh, I can handle it, I'm all right, I'll be fine. But do you know what happens to flowers that don't get watered? Eventually they don't look too good, do they? The only thing that happens is that get worse and worse and worse until it gets to a point where you can no longer do anything. And the exact same thing is going to happen to you if you do not look after yourself. I really do believe that looking after yourself can be made incredibly simple. Just by following the basics of drinking more water, sleeping a lot more, and doing some exercise. That alone will propel you a lot further than you realise. But obviously that's just the boring advice, right? And nobody wants to hear boring. But it works. And you refusing to do that for yourself is the exact same thing that's making you miserable and exhausted on a daily basis. Because if you don't leave anything for yourself, one day you will no longer be able to be there for them anymore at all. And then the exact people or things you are trying to support or work towards right now will either just simply see you as a burden or just flat out leave you exactly where you are. So the less you look after yourself, the more of a chance you are literally creating for that to happen. And then when it does happen, you will more than likely resent them for not accepting you or taking you in, when it is yourself that's caused that to happen. Realistically, us guys, we are incredibly simple, are we not? A little bit of sport, hitting the gym, doing some gaming, going fishing. Sometimes that's literally all we need to just feel better. It really doesn't take an awful lot. So why don't you do it? If time is an issue, there's a very big chance that you're probably just spending too much of it on your phone. If money is an issue, there's a very good chance that you're just spending money on things you genuinely do not need. If connections are an issue, then there's a very good chance that you put yourself in a position where people don't want to connect with you. When you really think about it, where we end up is mostly our doing. And if we can no longer pour from our cup, that is because we never allowed it to get filled up in the first place. Another big thing, if you feel like your downtime is just chilling on social media, scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, that's not actually downtime. Your brain is still in overdrive, taking in an absolute ton of information, and it's not actually getting the time it needs to be stimulated in the correct way. You are still just flaring up all the dopamine and giving it a good feeling momentarily, over and over and over again. So that when you do put that phone down, the misery and you're feeling tired just begins all over again. Do something more than just getting your phone out and scrolling, because that's never going to do anything good for you. And the next very important thing that kind of wraps all of this around together is to start saying no to people around you. Because once again, you feel the way you feel because you give so much. So start giving something to yourself. Say no to them and say yes to yourself. It's not very complicated. Is it hard to do? Yes, it certainly can be. But it's not complicated. Because your entire life cannot just be everyone else around you and never yourself. And no, that is not selfish. And if you think so, then you need to think about it again. Because once again, if you're not in a position to give, because you've put yourself in that position for never looking after yourself, then now in this moment, you're actually being selfish. Because you're ignorant to all the things and all the signs beforehand and just pushing yourself and never giving yourself the time. Give yourself more time. Give yourself things that you like. Enjoy things that make you genuinely happy, and then give. I see way too many guys end up in terrible positions physically and mentally whenever they get into a relationship or start something new or a job, and they give their absolute everything. They just immediately stop thinking about themselves and give their absolute everything to that one thing. And it becomes their own ruin because they allow themselves to get consumed by something else and never think about themselves again. Do not be that person anymore. Start thinking about yourself and give yourself the time. Give yourself the care. Take some time out. And trust me, you're going to be thanking yourself that you did, because you can't keep going like this forever. Look after yourself. If you made it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching, and I appreciate being here. If you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that as well. And if you find the video interesting, I'm going to leave another one on the screen just right here, and hopefully I'll see you there. And if not, that's cool. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you around. Bye bye now.